What's up, everyone? Welcome to the live stream. I thought I'd fire up a live before lock and get this one going. We're going to be talking about the Monday Night Football game. I think one that everybody's going to be kind of excited to see what's going down. We'll get this one going. We'll talk, kind of ask me anything in this stream. We're going to be talking props, sides, totals, some baseball stuff, whatever you guys want to get down into. Feel free. Throw it at me, and let's talk some football. So we'll see. Wait for a little more people. Kind of a little pop-up live stream. So we'll wait till we get more people in the house. Then I'm going to show you guys some stuff on my screen as well, and then try to get this one going. What's up, JR? David, welcome. Smash that like button. Let's let YouTube know that we're going live right now, if you don't mind. And we're going to just fire up some, we're going to pull up some AI stuff. We're going to get into a lot of different things here. This is going to be a fun one and kind of give you guys an inside look to how I go about it with my props. But kind of want to check some baseball scores too while we're waiting for the chat to come, for people to kind of join into the chat. But make sure you all smash that like button. We got 13 people live right now. This is a pop-up live stream. I didn't really do kind of anything crazy on YouTube side to get views, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to pull up. We are going to kind of go into some premium content here with an outlier. I'm really hoping that we do get up and running here. Probably hoping for at least 20 people in the chat, and then we will start getting into some of the picks and go down the list. But it's kind of a tough time. It's about 7:30 where I'm at right now. So we'll see what happens. But let's get it. Let's talk about it. Here is kind of what I want to get into. You can see kind of what we're going to do here. And I am going to use Outlier for this video. So give me a second. Forgive me. Get everything kind of situated here on my end. I wonder if it's still showing private. Is that kind of the... yeah. Thank you for the likes, guys. We'll wait for some more people to get in. I kind of think that I am actually... This video might be unlisted. I'm not sure right now. Interesting. Yeah, I have a feeling that this is not... working right, but nonetheless, let's get into it. Try to pin something here. All right, so yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. What's up, Mark A? Thanks for tuning in. Bong Tokes, what's happening? Doug Bug, hello. You're from Ohio too. Awesome, man. Awesome. Kimberly, welcome. Let's get it going. Smash that like button and let's talk some props. Kind of a little bit of a live before lock. If this gets enough traction, it's tough with my kids in bedtime, but I'm going to give you guys kind of an inside look to what I'm doing. A lot of times, too, these numbers are kind of out of the range. They're out of kind of where you want to be at. You should have bet this stuff, days ago, but this is something where we're going to break it down. Show you some of the insights. So if you guys have anything, we'll start off the show. If you watched my video today, Richard, what's happening? You do know, you should be aware of what picks I'm on. I want to add a couple of that, but I'm not going to do that till we get up and running. So right now, as we let people get in the chat, because I am going to go live till 8 o'clock, so this is a perfect opportunity. Throw stuff at me. Let's fire it up. If you want me to look something up, we'll dive into it together, and who knows, might end up forming a little same gamer here. But if you watch the Monday Night Football video I put out, you pretty much know where I'm at, who I'm leaning towards. Just kind of have to see it from Kirk. All right, we have to see it from Kirk on Monday night, and I think that they actually did. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did Kirk Cousins play? I think he played the Eagles on Monday night last year as well. It might have been a Sunday night game, but I'm pretty sure it was a Monday Night Football game, and that one was an absolute thriller. Devoted. Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts, anytime. Yeah, there's some value on Kyle Pitts. People have been kind of looking at that, firing from a value standpoint. It's not something that I'm going to get my money tied up in, but I could see where you guys could get along those lines. Also, guys, can you hear me well? Right now, I'm kind of having a technical issue with my microphone. My kid kind of was chewing on the end of the cord, so I have to order another. I have to order another cable off Amazon. These things are like really cheap, construction wise. Okay, yeah, Barkley over 18.5 rush attempts. Yeah, that's a solid play. I do like a lot of primetime running stuff. I think we get a lot of Barkley, and I think we get a lot of Bijan. I think this is where we could have the opportunity to kind of cash some crazy numbers here, especially with the A.J. Brown injury. But we are going to look into some insights here. This is something fun where I'm going to share with you guys. If you guys don't have an Outlier membership, this in itself, I think, is worth whatever it is, $10 a month, just because of the fact that, when you make a bet, when you start looking at stuff in the morning, people like to read the newspaper. The newspapers are gone with, right? Apple News is fantastic. I have a monthly subscription to that. But nowadays, I use things like this. It's kind of stupid, but I can really entertain myself for an hour just kind of diving into what's happening within kind of this spectrum. And you can literally sort the odds. This is probably my favorite thing because I personally make my own bets. I don't really let this influence me too much. I use this if it's an overwhelming advantage, but so I do, like, if something pops out at me, I'll share it. And yes, I do bet these, but I don't just take the top 10 things off Outlier and bet them all. I usually, if I see something that's really jumps out and I'm making prop parlays, I use it every second. Okay, but this is kind of what I love doing. I put it by the odds, right? And this is, $1.80 to $2.25, and it just throws zingers, right? And it's all these props, trends, and now we do have carryover from last year. That's kind of the interesting thing, but and also you can kind of get into the defensive player specific. So that's what I want to say. So if you guys want anything, I'm going to make this kind of open the floor to you guys, and we can kind of go back and forth a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to go live till 8 o'clock, and then I got to do bedtime before the game kicks off. So throw out a player, throw out who you guys want to talk about, and I will give you guys kind of some extra little nuggets that I added kind of outside of the video today throughout the course of the day. Did some thinking and listened to some podcasts as well. So, yeah, Barkley anytime touchdown. What is the odds? So, here, I'll do this right here. This is going to make it easier for you. Okay, so we'll go right to Barkley. Okay, Saquon Barkley. Boom, sort it by that. And then you can see right here what I'm talking about. There's 196. I'm sorry, there's 3 insights out of the 196. There you go. Brandon knows what's up. I'm not on those, though. I don't believe in those. I'm more of an ON guy. But, yeah, so these are 3 insights with Saquon Barkley. If you guys are leaning towards this, that are worth kind of your attention. We do get failing to exceed 101 rush yards and reception yards in last 5 games versus top 10 defense for receiving yards. You can see the 75.2 has been that average. Saquon has also failed to exceed 18.5 receiving yards in 4 of his last 5 against top 10 defenses. And Saquon has failed to exceed 15.5 rushes, longest rush of 15.5 yards in 4 of his last 5 games. Now, I was driving and I was listening to a radio broadcast where I do listen to some sports gamblers, and they were really throwing away some around some big numbers. If you guys want some value, there is a kind of crazy parlay out, or not a parlay, but it would be a what do you call it? Just not a boost candidate, but just in itself. It's just kind of a home run play, right? Little pizza money. It was basically saying that you look for Saquon to be the leading receiver in this football game. I think that was kind of mind-shattering, but with A.J. Brown out, hey, just want to pass that along. I heard that kind of tickled my fancy, so I do have a $50 bonus bet that I will probably throw on that, but doesn't mean I like it. It's just the value. I think it pays like 30 to 1 or something crazy like that, so just where I'm leaning. And yeah, Mark A., it definitely pays to take the points up and the total whenever you take the total down. That teaser is kind of really nice. However, I think this is one where I just worry about Vic Fangio just absolutely wrecking Kirk Cousins. I don't like his mobility one bit. I think that, the tape is clear for these guys in the NFL. It doesn't take like a brain surgeon to kind of decipher that tape. It's pretty straightforward. Kirk Cousins just stood in the pocket like a sitting duck. it's a turkey shoot, and Vic Fangio is going to know that. I think that we get a lot of dump downs as a result. Okay, and that's kind of where I'm at. But I think the running backs have a good chance of shining in this game. I don't think it's going to be something too crazy, right? I don't think we're going to get 30 for 200 out of both guys. Just to be honest, I think more so we get in line with just kind of, good solid performances. I don't think Barkley gets his 3 touchdowns. I told you I do lean towards the under. It's going to take a lot for me not to bet a primetime under. Pretty much it would have to be somewhere where I see basically 90% of everybody is on the under. Then we'd probably get in a position towards the over, and then look to bet that live under in case we do get some window room. Just a little strategy I do. Goedert over 4.5 receptions. I think that's one where you definitely have some value, and I want to pull that up for you guys. And I'm not going to be able to sort this for players without the likes of Goedert, without A.J. Brown in the lineup. And we did see that last year, right? It was the Dallas Goedert show, I think, in 1 or 2 games when A.J. Brown did not suit up. But this is something where you look at this. He's firing on these 2 insights. There's 3 insights for Goedert as well. 17.5, longest reception. He's blown that out at home. We get Dallas Goedert exceeding 40.5 receiving yards in 4 of his last 5 games at home. That's where you get 55.2 on average. And I think this should technically be 4-4 because I think that 5th game there was something going on with him against Green Bay. I can't really remember. That was way back. That was just this last week. What happened with him? Yeah, I just think it was kind of game script and game flow. That's the only thing that worries me about Goedert. They have not been in this position where they just simply ride Saquon Barkley. And I don't think 1 week is enough of a data point that we're going to just basically just go for it, right? I don't think I'm not ready to sign everybody off, sign the paper, and say that this is going to be Saquon Barkley, 25 carries a game, MVP caliber season. He's going to light up the scorebook as a ride to an NFC championship. I'm not there yet. I want to see a couple more weeks. That's just how I feel about it. You guys can do whatever you want in terms of that, but that's how I feel about it. I'm a Saquon fan, big fan of him as a person too. It's nice to see guys that actually get things done, kind of like not just be jackasses like Antonio Brown, but he is funny. I do follow him on X, by the way. If you do have an X, make sure you follow me, but also follow Antonio Brown. Probably one of my best reads of the day. Just being honest, I like to keep this one. I keep this casual, so we'll kind of just talk a little bit about that fun stuff. So let me get down the chat. There's a lot of people out firing things. Bijan over 15.5 rushing attempts. That's a tough one. Let me look and see. I'm not going to use Bijan from last year because, quite frankly, I don't like to do that. I don't think there's carryover. It's a whole new offense. But I will tell you guys one thing, and I do have kind of like, if you watch me a lot, you do know that I play the futures, and I go for lottery tickets. I call them fun coupons. If you do watch me and you follow my stuff, one bet that right now that I think that you could key in on, and I think that has some value, and I'm going to pull it up here if I can. I'm going to probably have to turn to DraftKings, so let me do that real quick. I'll just pull up DraftKings, and then I will pull up some just kind of stats here real quickly. So let's look at this on DraftKings real quick, and I'm going to show you guys this. And you guys are pretty much here from the beginning of the live stream, so I'm going to show it to you, and I probably won't show it till the end. But let me know if you think I'm crazy in the chat. Joe Mama, what's happening? Thank you for tuning in. All right, so I want to show you kind of this would be what I would consider a fun coupon, okay? So if you have any free bets, and this is not financial advice, let me just navigate this. It's kind of hard doing this off the cuff. I bet you they don't have it because it's midweek, but so give me 1 second to find this, and forgive me for acting like I never use a betting app in my life, but that's just kind of where I'm at. And I haven't, guys, I'm not drinking either. I'm on antibiotics, so it's kind of be a boring Monday Night Football. We're actually going to get some kind of house chores done. playing catch up. It's a lot of work managing a lot of stuff right now. Okay, here we go. Awards. This is what I want to see. Yep, please have it. Okay, Offensive Rookie Player of the Year. Boom. Here we go. Can you guys see that? Hopefully. All right, so we all know kind of the storyline, right? But this is something where we're going to go down the odds board, and this is not something that I recommend, but if you have a free bet, you have some pizza money, do not be scared of this. Okay? Do not be scared of this. Michael Penix, Offensive Rookie of the Year at 50 to 1. I'm actually kind of shocked this number is not over 100 just because he doesn't have the position. But I could make the strong argument that we look at, Marvin Harrison's clear-cut favorite after his game on week 2. But with the arsenal that Penix has in Atlanta, if Kirk Cousins gets hurt, or God forbid something happens to him, and we get 15 games out of Michael Penix and he just absolutely balls, 50 to 1 is very, very enticing. And shout out to the Jose Ramirez, the Stadium Cups. Do not buy glassware, guys. Just go to a baseball game and pick it up off the stands. Take them home, wash them. All right. That's a little fun coupon for you guys, but clearly I think Marvin Harrison at 250 is some good value if he could stay healthy. Xavier Worthy would be my hedge in that. I just think that's where we're at. Neighbors is a solid player, but with Daniel Jones at the helm, I'm going to take Marvin Harrison with Kyler Murray throwing him the football basically all day, every day. And I think there is a little steam with Marvin Harrison due to the fact that a lot of people thought that he was a kind of Heisman Cinderella, and that does have carryover effect, if you ask me, with the sports writers, because this is a sports writer award, once again, which makes no sense to me. If you never played football in your life, you should not be eligible to vote. Just kind of my thoughts. Okay, but we're going to look into some numbers here. Enough about those kind of lottery tickets. Eagles defense, anytime touchdown is like 650. I kind of like another bet in this one without A.J. Brown. I do like the fact. I wouldn't go defense, okay? That is a strong play, and you also have the ability to get a punt return. But what I like in this, if you want to bet something like that, like an anytime touchdown thing, I just don't know how explosive we're going to get in the touchdown market, okay? So that's kind of where I would lend towards. I would kind of go into the argument where we may not get a 70-yard touchdown, 60-yard touchdown. So if you guys can, I think DraftKings offer it. If you can find like smallest touchdown, primetime spots will have that. I think that's something where we get a lot of field goals, and there's a good chance that we don't get a large, a longer playing score. Yeah, Joe Lane, we talked about that just before you popped in. Cousins' record, and this was part of my video this morning. Cousins' record Monday Night Football, I think, is 10-3 to the other team. It's kind of his kryptonite, and I did talk about this too. I think that the Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings had a primetime Monday Night Football game that was kind of a higher scoring affair. It was kind of a shootout, and I believe the Eagles came back and won that game. Yeah, Gia. The problem with that is, welcome to the chat, by the way. But, I gotta, I'm kind of like a team player. So if I take my shirt off, everybody got to take their shirt off. But jokes aside. Anyways, let's get down the chat. No, Joe, you're cool, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it's tough this time. Everybody's scrambling to get to the window. Well, no, they're not. I'm the only person who probably bets in person. But, do I think Cousins gets one passing touchdown? That's kind of an interesting thing because there's a chance Cousins doesn't play this full game. I'm really worried about his mobility and just absolutely just taking it to the head. Tough player, coming off Achilles. I'm just staying away from Atlanta, and truthfully, it's something where I just, it's setting up perfect. This is a perfect storm. We get no A.J. Brown. We get a hurt Kirk Cousins. Everything is just screaming under. But I'm telling you guys, this is something where Atlanta does have the playmakers. This was set at 10.5 for their win total. And I do think Judon being on a defense, this is the makings of an under, but I just worry that we might get a little kind of, this is how Vegas makes their money tonight, okay? But we got a lot of people in the chat. If you haven't smashed that like button, absolutely destroy it. Only hit it once, because I think if you hit it twice, you actually end up disliking the video. But welcome in. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. A little pop-up live stream to get Monday Night Football kicked off. And I'm going to go down the chat and get into some of the plays. Another thing is going on within this game. And I just don't understand the money, right? I don't understand the money. Somebody better, more smarter than me, I guess, might want to explain this one to me. We were going into some insights here on OddsJam, on Outlier. But I want to pull up this game in terms of bets. So we'll pull up this real quick. Okay, and we showed you this a little bit earlier in the day, and I don't know why this is not showing it. Let me try doing this. Okay. That should work perfectly. Let me do it like this. All right. Okay, I want to be able to show you guys kind of the public stuff. So forgive me, I did not grow up in the era where you could do all this camera stuff. Okay, so this is kind of what we're looking at, and I kind of like it this way, so we're going to leave it like this. All right, so this is what we're looking at in terms of the betting splits, okay? 96% of the money. 96% of the money is on the Philadelphia money line. I don't really understand the love in terms of the sharper money, because Philly is a very publicly bet team, right? Really close to Atlantic City. Atlantic City is a big portion of the handle, and I will tell you, Vegas will need Atlanta in this game. Now, we're also seeing a bigger chunk of the money is on the Philadelphia spread versus the number of bets. So call it what you want. Maybe it's all the preseason hype on the Falcons. That could be an issue. But all of these betting splits, and I don't use them to be the end-all be-all when I make my bets, but everything about this is telling me that, the number should be getting closer to 7. However, we're seeing a little reverse line movement, and we did see this 6. Now we're down to 5.5. So what that comes down to is they're giving you a better number with Philadelphia, which I just don't understand that move. You can get Philadelphia minus 5.5 at minus 106. Crazy. So that's what lends me to believe that, the under dominates the money. The Philly dominates the spread and the money line. It's a fishy number. So, I am pretty much leveraged within Philadelphia winning this game. This was a chalk weekend, except for Baltimore. A lot of money line parlays are going to have Kansas City. They won on the field goal. That they're going to have Houston, and they're going to have Philadelphia. For some reason, people throw in that Monday night. I do it because I always use it as a way to hedge out of these parlays. So if I did have, a couple of the bets I have open with Philly money line, I would just take the Atlanta plus 5.5. But 5.5 is kind of a stupid number. I will tell you, though, within my history and experience, call it just kind of like a gut feel. NFC games, for some odd reason, they end up ending in like weird numbers, like 2s and 5s and 8s and 9s. They're never the key numbers. I just feel like NFC games get a little weird within kind of those final games. If you guys, think about like block pools with the Super Bowl. I just think that the NFC showdowns end up, for some reason, having weird numbers. Like this game, in my opinion, won't be 13-17. It's going to be like, I don't know how to explain it. It's going to be like 22-15. It just, mark my words. Kyle, I agree with you, man. Kyle, welcome to the chat. That's a new name. I kind of remember all you guys vaguely. So, if you're on Discord, it's something somewhat easier too. I remember a lot of you guys, but I have a strong play on field goal kicking. If you guys are making parlays, over 2.5 field goals in this contest, I believe is under $2. That's a strong leg if you can add that into your same gamers. what else we got here? Yeah, Richard, Atlanta kicker over 1.5. I don't really know about that, to be honest. I'm worried. I'm worried that they're not going to get it into the red zone, or at least close to it. I don't know. Something just weird about this game tells me Kirk's just going to absolutely have a horrible performance. That's why I don't agree with this move from 6 to 5.5. I don't understand it. They're begging people to take the Philadelphia Eagles, although they have all the money. It's just a really fishy spot, and can't really forget, the Eagles won against the Packers, but you can't really forget how they closed out the 23-24 season. They lost like 5 or 6 games straight. Yeah, Joe Jenks. If I had to give a same game parlay anytime touchdown score, I think it's pretty safe if you do like the Eagles. Eagles money line with a Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown score is a very strong play. He didn't get in the end zone last week. I think I talked about in my video earlier. I think they're going to emphasize the tush push. I think they're going to try to get that back. They're breaking in a new center after losing, Kelsey, and it's just it's kind of just where I'm at. All right, there's really no numbers other than the fact that if you look at, we'll look at it right here, and I'll kind of pull this up. Jalen Hurts, and did I spell that wrong? Yep, he has an E, not a Y. Told you guys, I'm not even drinking. 2023, let's just look at it this way. Okay, so we'll look in his game overview, and you can see last season. All right, rushing. This is a game by game log, and this goes into one game into the playoffs, obviously. But touchdowns, if you look at the rushing touchdowns, okay, in the regular season, this is kind of where I'm at. All right, so no touchdowns, touchdown, no touchdown, touchdown. So anytime really after he doesn't score a touchdown, he follows it up with a touchdown. So that's kind of my logic, right? So I think the bet and the question you should be asking yourself, if you like Jalen Hurts to score an anytime touchdown, look at the money, find the best number available, use the apps, and find the best number for Jalen Hurts 2 touchdowns. Okay, that's how I would approach it, because there is a possibility that without AJ Brown, he's a little bit more mobile, and they have to utilize him in that regard. Yeah, Mark, that not converting that tush push cost me about almost $900. Atlanta played at home last week. Yes, they did. They hosted the Steelers. And that's another kind of argument that I'm going to make in this game, if you guys want to know something to help you out. I think we're kind of looking at it like, okay, Atlanta couldn't score, but I think the argument can be made that, hey, Pittsburgh's defense is really, really good this year, okay? I think that's the argument we can make. And, you look at games where they had Kenny Pickett in prior times, it's a whole different system. And I think that there is that kind of angle where, Fields may not be the best guy for the job. He may not be the best quarterback in the NFL, but it functions with what they're trying to do defensively, where the defense plays rested. They're put in non-leverage situations, which I mean by that is the defense can control the game. And that's kind of where I'm at. I think that this could be a good game offensively for Atlanta. If Kirk can play well on Monday night, just due to the fact that I think that I don't want to do it like we did with the Browns per se. Excuse me. I'm recovering from strep throat, so my voice and everything kind of feels like crap. But we kind of did this with the Browns a little bit. I think a lot of people saw right through the handicap and the right side of the Browns game against the Jaguars because they thought that Browns offense was just going to be atrocious. Well, how much of that was actually, the Giants playing good defense, or I'm sorry, the Cowboys playing good defense? Probably not, because they just absolutely gave up like 50 points against the Saints. But that's kind of where I'm at. So this will be kind of the way I look at it, because, the Eagles, they have the roster defensively. It's just what they're able to do in Vic Fangio's defense. How much is this actually going to be a representation of a good defense? Okay, I just don't know about that. But I do want to tell you guys, though, thanks for tuning in. We only got 22 likes. We need to get more thumbs up. Let's get at least 40 likes. Thumbs up. All you gotta do is hit that little button. Thanks for tuning in, Brandon. Good luck with your bets. But I think in the spirit of betting, while we're doing this, let's do a little FanDuel action here. Let's try to build one, because I do got a nice boost. All right, so we'll get into this. All right. And this is really weird how this does this, but same game parlay. Let's look into this. All right. Boy, I just have this weird feeling that the Falcons might sneak this one somehow. All right, so a couple other props I do like. I think that we are going to see a lot of receptions with Devonta Smith, over 5.5. Wonder what his 5 is. That's kind of the guy that I think everybody's going to be on. Player total receptions, we'll find the alt receptions. Minus 330. All right, so let's look at it this way. I do think that he gets close to 8 receptions. So we'll take that minus 168. All right. And then the other one that we look into, Saquon, for as good as he's playing, he only had 2 grabs last week, and I think he had about 20 yards in the air out of the backfield. So I'm not too in love with that. Not too in love with that, but kind of where I'm standing on that. I do like him more so getting his yardage running the football, though. And I think you can see right here, 3 receptions at minus 146. That's probably how I would attack it. I wouldn't take the yardage. I would probably bet 3 receptions. He only had 2 targets, but I do look at that as possibly being a nice little leg to a little parlay builder. Player record 20-yard reception. Devonta Smith, that's going to be probably your number 1. There is a lot of opportunity with Jahan Dotson, right? No targets, no receptions in last week. But now without A.J. Brown, I think he's the guy that steps up. So not a big fan of any of these. I think that you could look into Dallas Goedert alt receptions. 4 at minus 205 is definitely enticing. Barkley over 16.5, that's tough. He definitely is kind of one of those runners that he's just chunk gain. 16.5 seems really appropriate. I don't think there's really any value, Doug, with taking Gainwell. You just never know with these Philadelphia backup running backs. I think that Bijan has an opportunity. Let's pull up kind of what he's doing. Stat-wise, Bijan last week, 68 on the ground against the Steelers, and that's a good number. All right, he had 5 receptions. Okay, so I do think that we get a lot of Bijan. He has probably, in my opinion, a better game than Barkley, in just my opinion. 5 receptions on 5 targets, 43 yards. Let's look at this. Let's look for... This is kind of how I like to attack these things. Same game parlay. Let's find alt receiving and rushing. Yeah. Well, against the Steelers, I think that's a pretty fair number. So he had 100 against the Steelers. So I firmly think he's going to eclipse that in this game. Minus 180, that's a good bet, but we're going to add the minus 260. I try to keep these legs anywhere from 180 to 250 depending on value. That's a nice little lay to get us to plus 110. Not a fan of that. 4 receptions, not a fan of that. Let me look at Jalen Hurts real quick. I just want to make sure that I'm not making things up. Yeah, he only had 20 completions last week against Green Bay in a game where we saw 63 points. So, the completion percentage under 60%, that kind of comes into play without A.J. Brown. I really think this is why I lean towards the under. I think we're going to see a lot of running the football, okay? So, touchdown scores, I'm going to throw Jalen Hurts into that anytime at plus 105. And I try to keep these about 5 legs, okay? And I do think that if we take Philly on the money line, we're at 491, and then we just need one more to get us home. All right. And I kind of like trying to think what I was at. Johnny Wilson's also another angle I like in this game. First quarter spread, that's an interesting one. I wouldn't go to 1.5, but I do think that there's a potential that Philadelphia definitely is the first quarter winner. Plus 110 on a 3-way, that's pretty good number. This is nice. Philly wins the half. Phillies wins. I wonder what yeah, that's a 3-way though. That's not really any good value. That's interesting, 23.5. Boy, they put these numbers right where you want them to see them. Looking for a first quarter money line. All right, let me look at this because I do like this a lot. Yeah, I can't add the interception to that. Little bit of value. Jalen Hurts 25 yards. I like that a lot. We're going to take that. And then we're going to go under the total. At 52.5. This is kind of where I'm going to be at. This is a bet I like at 14-1. This is probably what I'm going to place, and I'm going to boost this up 50% to about 20-1, a little bit above that, and that'll be kind of my same gamer. So for those of you watching, that'll be probably what I'll screenshot and send over to the Discord. So let me put that in before lock. I told you guys I'd go till 8 o'clock. I got to get out of here, though. It is bedtime here at the household, but appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys haven't done so, make sure you subscribe on your way out. Smash that like button. Good luck with your picks. I'll be at the Discord. I'll be on my phone. So if you guys want to hit me up on there or on Twitter, make sure you follow me on X as well. Shout out to all the channel members also that are tuning in. I love seeing those logos in the chat. If anybody's wondering why there are TBMs next to people's names, well, that's because I don't charge for picks, and Those are just the generous people out there that like to give back to the channel, and that's how I do it around here. So appreciate you all. Good luck with your picks, and we'll see you all